Second last on the programme, race number 9, an intriguing contest. Class 2 of the 1200 metres as the unbeaten Hot King Prawn gets up to the 1200 metres for the first time. Magic Legend, a 2-time course and distance winner. Shamal will roll forward from barrier 4. California Fortune come up with barrier 13. Summer Passage blinkers on for his Hong Kong debut. Optimum makes his Hong Kong debut as well. He won 3 out of 5 in Australia. Always win on a hat-trick, goes back up in class. And Wishful Thinker up in class as well. Didn't get all the breaks last time out behind Solar Patch.
He's a real draw card to the meeting in himself, isn't he, Hot King Prawn? But a big test for him here. He's won his first 5. He steps to 1200. He's got a big weight to carry and an awkward barrier with a lot of speedy horses around him. So where will he end up? If he ends up there, he's going to be very hard to beat because California Fortune will probably cross and sit outside of Shamal. But there are other pace influences in the race.
Here's the Prawn. He's coming along nicely. He's dropped 26 pounds going in, so he has lost a little bit of weight. Barrier 8, as you mentioned, Brett, for him. But you can see him moseying along there, doing what he has to do. He doesn't really do too much there. Optimum's one of the first starters. Thought I'd show him. High on the irons is the riding boy as he comes down. 800 metre gallop. He moves nicely. He's a Group 3 winner in Australia, this horse. And you can see him doing what he has to do and always wins in great form at the moment. And he's won his last couple. He's up in grade. He's going to find this a lot tougher, but you can't beat winning form. And he's won a couple of them. All
right, OK, the rising class, but lightweight on his back. Favourite seems a natural place to start here. Hot King Prawn with jockey Zach Purton.
Zach, Hot King Prawn resumes on Sunday. First run since December, first time over 1200 metres. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it's obviously something he was going to have to tackle at some stage. And, you know, John is always cautious about his horses when they get up to a certain rating and they're still quite young. So he's tried to give him as much time as he can, but he's been bouncing around in the mornings and he's had the 3 trials. He's felt good in all the trials I've ridden him in. I missed the one in the middle, but the first one and the improvement through to the third one was nice. He tried over 1200 around the corner. He seemed to handle it well. So, you know, it's a nice time to test him, I think.
As far as his preparation has been, then you've got no concerns with him first up, top weight 3-year-old against these older horses?
It's always a concern. You never know how they're going to handle it until they get out there and get put under race conditions, but he's always had a good attitude. Hopefully he handles the occasion on the day, and you know, he's an exciting horse, so it'd be good just to see him back out there again.
So there's still more to come from him, more improvement, more progression?
I hope so. You can never be certain of that, but I hope so.
Just a couple of others wanted to quiz you on in the race you've had a bit to do with. California Fortune, also Summer Passage, having his first run in Hong Kong. What are your thoughts on those two?
Yeah, well, California Fortune's been racing really well. You can just forget his last run and went 100 miles an hour through the first 600 metres, and no horse can sustain that pressure. I thought it was a good effort to stick on like he did in the start before. He looked as if he had the race won and just seemed to labour when he was in front. He sort of just gave it away. So he's racing well. Summer Passage, his first trial I thought was just okay. I didn't ride him in his second trial, but I was on him for his last trial and he trialled really well. He gave me a good feel and I think he'll run a very good race.
Cautious optimism then from Zach as far as Hot King Prawn is concerned. Let's have a look at some of the other challenges then, starting off with Always Win, as Paul says. Winning form's good form, but up in class here.
Yeah, he's had 2 goes in this grade in the past and 4th is the best he's been able to do. But he is a horse that's had some soundness issues, and Benno Jung has certainly got him going well. He's drawn well, which I think is good because he's going to get a lot of pace to suit here and he can sit in behind with a little bit of cover, lighter weight. I expect him to let down pretty well. Whether or not it's good enough to win is the question mark. I tend to think probably not.
Yeah, it's a lot harder this, and he had the 10-pound claim there when he did overhaul that horse, so yeah, this will be a lot tougher for him.
All right, OK. Wishful Thinker. Now, we've seen this replay already. We're looking at a different horse on that occasion, but Wishful Thinker here running second. This is behind Solar Patch.
Yeah, and I like Solar Patch. I'm going to take a little chance here, a little shy at the stumps with Wishful Thinker. Coming up in grade, very lightweight. He's drawn 12. We know his patterns to get back. You can see here he just can't get any real clear galloping room, but he's capable of reeling off very quick final 400 metres. With all the foreseeable pace in the race, he'll get back towards the tail, get to the outside. If he unleashes a 22-2 with all this weight off his back, I think he might be very competitive.
Yeah, I've got him in the numbers. I thought he was unlucky not to win that race. As you see, he didn't get out until really late. So, yeah, I agree, Brett. I think he's a chance at a double-figure price as well.
All right, we've got a couple of interesting first starters here in the shape of Summer Pasha. We'll look at him first. Blinkers on. He's a Group 1 winner as a 2-year-old in New Zealand.
He did, and then he went over to Australia and ran second in a Group 1 over there in the size produce behind Invader. Like this trial, he's 1,108 pounds. He should get a really nice run from barrier number 3. I reckon he can give the favourite a massive fright, and he's going to be a big price as well. So he brings that Group 1 form. You have to be a special horse to win here at Hong Kong, though, in a Class 2 on debut. Not many horses can do that.
Yeah, Zach Burton rode him in that second bit in the size produce as well.
All right, Eptimum being the other one. 3 out of 5 in Australia, including a Group 3.
Yeah, won the Red Anchor Stakes at Moonee Valley and then was 12th in the Coolmore Stud Stakes behind Merchant Navy. He's got pace. He's got barrier 1 as well, so he's going to kick up and add more flavour to the early first 300 or 400 metres of the race. The rating suggests there's not much between he and Summer Passage, just 1 point the difference as they arrive on 87 and 88 respectively. Both of them I think you need to be cautious with.
Yeah, 1143 pounds, 2 trials. Interesting, he's got Group 3 winners, whereas Summer Patch is a Group 1 winner and second in a Group 1, and they come on a similar rating.
Yeah, 2-year-old to a 3-year-old might have been the difference there, but yeah, both talented.
All right, Hot King Prawn again, Paul?
Look, I'm going to take him on because he's going to come up a short price. He's a special horse, and I wouldn't be surprised if he won it by 3. But he's going to be odds on by the time the race starts. So I'll take him on with the first starter, Summer Passage. Group 1 form, you cannot scoff at that in Australia or New Zealand. So I've got him on top to beat Hot King Prawn, and his trial was good. Like Brett, wishful thinker, I think with a light weight he can be dangerous, very unlucky last start. And we'll put the other first starter in Eptimum. He's not too far away as well. So we ended up going 6, 1, 14 and 9. I look at 6 each way, although he has come up short on the place line.
I'm going to tip against Hot King Prawn as well for the reasons that we've already mentioned. First up for 4 months, top weight, going from 1,000 to 1,200. He is a very special horse and he can very well win the race and be just too good for them. But I think Wishful Thinker will appreciate the pace. He'll get back, he'll get to the middle, he'll run on powerfully late, and with a lightweight could potentially overhaul Hot King Prawn. Summer Passage for the reasons Paul's mentioned. And then I sort of flipped the coin between Always Win and Eptimum, and it landed on 11, so he went in for 4th.
All right, there you go. All right, I like Paul Summer Passage. I think he's a great price at the moment, $17.